So technology, as we know, is being democratized with each passing day. What was a flagship of yesterday is the mid-range of today, and what was the mid-range of yesterday is probably the budget or the lower budget of today. That is something on the lines of what iQOO is working on. What used to be a single series of devices in the flagship range of iQOO devices is now divided into 3 categories, and among those categories also there's divisions and subdivisions. Along these lines, I had a very interesting conversation with iQOO India's CEO Mr. Nipun Marya, and here is how the conversation went. Now, I have recently noticed that with the Z series of smartphones, iQOO has been democratizing or making the gaming and performance part of smartphones more accessible to a larger part of the audience, right?
Yeah.
For example,
Yeah.
with the iQOO Z9X, this performance gaming DNA now goes to the sub 15,000 segment also. Is there a plan for making it even cheaper or even more accessible? Maybe are we also going to see a sub 10,000 rupees offering in the near future from iQOO?
Sure. So see whether when we talk about Z9X and other Z series products, the key focus for us has been to being true to two things. First, true to our consumers, and second, true to our brand promise. Right. So our brand promise has always been that iQOO will be the best and the fastest phone in its segment, best in performance and the fastest phone in its segment. Right. And for our consumers also, gaming is, say, one important passion point. And it's not only gaming. In fact, a lot of youngsters, when I speak to today, they talk about how multitasking is so important, doing slightly heavier tasks also, so on and so forth. So as long as we can stay true to these two things, promise of the brand and consumers, then I think price point becomes sort of incidental and secondary. So if it is possible for us to give or to meet these two promises later on in maybe even lower price points, we can consider that as
well. Okay, so I still didn't get a clear answer. So is that a yes, is that a no, or is that we are still thinking, or we are still trying to figure out if we need something under 10,000 or not?
Yeah, so the way you can think about it is that we are evaluating it, and whenever we can give a clear answer, we will be able to give.
Okay, great. Okay, so I have very recently noticed a few other brands, not gonna name any names, are also taking a similar approach, targeting the Gen Z mobile gamers, and also giving out accessories like you guys have in the past, right? Like your smartphone coolers or like thumb sleeves and everything in like a gaming kit of sorts or a reviewer's kit of sorts, right? How is iQOO planning to differentiate itself from these newer players, and at the same time keeping the lead in this market, where if you ask a Gen Z mobile gamer their favorite brand or the brand that they would prefer to go for, they instantly say iQOO. So what is the plan in terms of keeping up with the competition and also keeping the lead at the same time?
Okay, so see, I'll answer this in two parts. The first part is a very simple explanation. It's that even in the smartphone world itself, say for example, camera also, it's not that multiple brands have not tried camera or not taken that position, but still there are only a handful of brands that really are consumers' first choice when it comes to camera, and Vivo being one of them, right? And now the second part, it is not about whether one is trying to enter a particular category or not. It is much more about how sincerely, authentically, and consistently you can deliver on that promise. Like in my first answer also, I told you, iQOO's DNA is performance, right?
Yeah.
And therefore, I think consumers also today are very smart, and they see through what is real strategy and what is a tactic. So if it is real strategy like we have, where our strategy and our authenticity runs in our products, in our communication, in our on-ground efforts, in our community initiatives, in everything that we do. It is clearly seen that as a common thread. And therefore, I feel very confident about iQOO's position, which we have been able to build today, and I think we will continue to strengthen it for the medium term and long term as well. And I know our consumers are very smart. The Gen Z is very smart to really see and understand what is just a marketing gimmick and what is a true brand promise.
Okay. So talking about community, since you mentioned it, so iQOO, as from what I know, with my limited knowledge of communities, or every brand has, iQOO seems to have one of the strongest communities in, at least in the Indian market. So how does having a community help in terms of both the development of the device, because I'm sure you'll be getting a lot of feedback from them,
Yeah.
and also in terms of ensuring sales, because it's eventually at the end of the day it is a marketing exercise, right? So how does, in terms of the development stage and then on the sales side of the things?
Okay. Okay. Sure. So here, there are, I have a slightly different opinion. When you said it, finally, it is a marketing strategy and a
Hmm.
sales lever. Actually, it is not.
Okay.
So for us, community is not a marketing
Marketing strategy.
strategy. For us, community is a business strategy.
Okay.
Right? It is one of the fundamental pillars of how iQOO is being built. Right? Just like companies spend a lot of time thinking about distribution channel, product strategy. We spend, I will not say same amount of time, but we give similar importance to community discussion and community thinking as well, because it is part of the fundamental tenet of iQOO, right? And why do I say that? Because from the last 2 years, since we have started building the community, our focus totally has been on how as I said, authenticity, and that is so important for us. Similarly, in community also, it's the same thing. When we started, we did a beta phase, right? We had 500 people, and today we have crossed 1 million people, and 1 million
wow.
questions are part of this community. And what are they doing? Why are they coming to our community? Why are they engaging with us? Because they find value in whatever we are able to provide to them, through the community platform, through the on-ground events that we do, through the sneak peek sessions, where even before the device is seen by anybody outside, including sometimes media as well, community folks get a chance to physically see the device. Right? We also include them in a lot of our decision making. We have community moderators who give us feedback about upcoming products. We discuss with them about features, about colors, about even our marketing. Sometimes, okay, we're thinking about a script, we will run it past them. There are so many things that we do with our community, because the fundamental principle there is co-creation. Right.
Okay.
And we believe that iQOO, and when I say business strategy, it is part of business strategy, because our thinking is iQOO is being built bottom up. iQOO is not being built top down. Right. And when you build bottom up any brand, then you're keeping your ears to the ground, listening to what the community is saying becomes of paramount importance. That is what we are doing. That is, and therefore, when we started 2 years back, then also some people had community, right? Today, I'm very glad to hear from you when you say iQOO has one of the strongest communities in India, right? And I will take that as a compliment, and I thank you for that.
It is definitely.
So that's the point, that if you continuously and consistently do something which is in-depth work, people will recognize it.
Okay, so would you want to elaborate a little bit more on the on this bottom up approach that you just mentioned? Like,
yeah. So see, when I say bottoms up approach, there are and I'll refer to one study by Vogue Business, right?
okay.
He said that when it comes to Gen Z,
Hmm.
The kind of brands Gen Z likes to be associated with
Hmm.
have or you and when they did the study, they found out that there were two common traits in most brands which Gen Zs like.
Okay.
Trait number one was these brands were inspirational,
Okay.
and trait number two, these brands were community driven or community focused.
Okay.
Right. In fact, I got to know about this research a couple of months back, but this further validates our thinking also of how we are building. Right. Which
Hmm.
is first is if you go to the Vogue study, it talks about inspirational. You look at iQOO. What does iQOO stand for? I quest on and on.
Yeah.
Right? Where whatever is my dream, and the youth of today have big dreams, especially the Indian youth of today. They have big dreams, and what they require is to keep questing on and on, right? And therefore we also have that, and that's the way we have thought about it. That for us to be something bigger than just a mobile phone, right? It is that we are also providing that spirit or that frequencies matching between the brand and the consumer. The spirit of I quest on and on. Number one. Number two is community. And
Hmm.
here again, whenever people feel that this is a brand which is listening to us, taking our inputs, and not just as an eyewash, but
Hmm.
taking them very seriously and trying to improve, they want to come back to you again and again. What was very heartening for me to see is that I did not imagine, but what I have felt is that community understands in organizations things don't happen in a jiffy,
Hmm. Yeah.
right? So while I did not expect them to be that patient or that understanding,
Hmm.
but I have experienced that they give their suggestions, and then maybe after 6 months, sometimes I go back to them and see, you gave the suggestion 6 months back, we have improved this now. They said yes, we like it. And at the same time, I have also told them there are suggestions you have given and I'm working on them, which will happen after 1 year.
Wow. Sounds like a mature community.
Yeah, exactly. Especially the moderators.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
when I met them 2 months back, I
Hmm.
told them that you've given this suggestion, and sometimes you also understand large organizations. There are many stakeholders, lots of
Yeah.
things are involved. Decisions don't happen just like that, and execution also takes time. But continuously, when they keep giving us feedback and we keep improving upon them, I think that is what they see, that at least the intent is right.
Yeah.
And if intent is right, then the community also recognizes your effort and your authenticity.
Okay. Yeah. That's a very good answer. Okay. So, what do you think is the specific feature or set of features that makes people go to an iQOO smartphone? You can't say performance in this question because that is obvious. So, what do you think is the specific set of features apart from performance that makes people go for an iQOO smartphone, or maybe for somebody who already owns a iQOO smartphone, go back to an iQOO smartphone? Because according to one of our own research, also the retention rate for iQOO is number two if we go by Amazon's data. So that must mean something, right? And what do you think apart from performance is pulling these customers back to iQOO?
I think at a fundamental level, most important is delivery is more than promise.
Okay.
I think the promise is anyways high, but I think the delivery is higher. And again, for our consumers, what they really like is substance, right? Less of the less of noise and more of substance. And I think iQOO is for people who know their tech, uh,
Yeah.
especially right now. And that's the reason people keep coming back to iQOO, because they understand I'm buying a product or I'm buying a technology product, and what I'm getting is high technology, right? And I'm paying for tech, and not paying for some fiff-faff.
So are you saying that most of the times when people actually get their smartphones, what they see is most of the times higher than what they expected or better than what they expected?
From
Because
iQOO,
yes,
yeah, I think when they are buying, they know it's a good product that I'm buying. Otherwise, why will you buy in the first place?
exactly.
But the satisfaction level or the experience is even better,
Okay.
and that's also evident in our Amazon ratings and
Yeah.
reviews. And
Yeah.
iQOO being the only brand with all products which are 4-star rated and above.
It's actually a fun fact, very surprising for a brand so young to have such a good retention rate. My own brother also swears by iQOO smartphones. Ever since the iQOO 7, he's been using an iQOO flagship only. He had after the 7, he got the 11, and then this year he got the 12.
Hmm.
So I was actually telling him, hey, you don't need to buy these phones. I have all of them lying around in my cupboard. But he's like, no, I don't want your free phones. I just, and he's also a bit of like a gamer of sorts. So that's actually something I have also seen personally in my own house.
Uh,
Um, okay, so coming to the tech side of things, uh,
hmm.
so is there, because this is something that is being asked or being talked about a lot in the tech community at least, is there a similarity between Vivo's V series of ISP chips and the secondary chips that iQOO has been using, like the Q1 supercomputing chip,
Yeah.
or are these developed independently?
Sure. So see, whether it's the Vivo V1 or the V series chips
Hmm.
or the iQOO Q series chips,
Hmm.
they are of course both proprietary Vivo Group technologies, right?
Hmm.
And the focus for both is different,
Hmm.
right? As you already know, focus for V series has always
Yeah.
been to
Yeah.
enhance the camera capabilities, and for us, the focus has been to enhance the gaming
Gaming.
capability,
Yeah.
right? So at the back end, if it's possible to, or if some technology overlap is happening, I don't know about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but at the level at which consumers experience, in most cases they experience two very different use cases.
Okay. All right. So you wouldn't know if there is any technology that's being shared, right?
Sorry,
I'm saying you wouldn't know if there is any
no,
technology that's being shared.
no,
Okay.
no, right?
Okay. Understood. So another thing which this is something that came personally from me. So we are seeing a lot of brands collaborating with legacy camera brands like
Yeah,
your parent company, also Vivo's Eyes, or
yeah,
say Xiaomi and Leica, or maybe Oppo and Hasselblad, right?
yeah.
Is iQOO planning on something similar, or maybe we will see a Zeiss collaboration in an iQOO phone anytime soon? Any plans or anything of that sort in the works?
Uh, Honestly, looks difficult.
Okay.
And again, I will go back to the promise of the brand and authenticity, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Vivo stands for camera first, and
Hmm.
therefore Vivo's promise is to its customers that I will give you the best camera, and hence Zeiss makes so much sense, and it is not just one name collaboration. I think the collab goes much deeper,
Oh yeah.
from colors to R&D and to other things. For us, it is performance first, and therefore a collaboration like BMW M Motorsport uh,
Hmm.
is uh, is uh, is closer to what depicts performance in the first place. Within BMW also, M Motorsport actually stands for the best of performance when it
Performance
comes
line
to
of class. Yeah.
BMW Group itself,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
and therefore, for us, a collab like BMW M Motorsport, which again we inked many years back, and we are still
Hmm.
continuing. So for us, a collab like that makes a perfect sense.
Got it. Got it. Okay. So AI is clearly the trend this year, right? And is iQOO working on something in the AI space for smartphones?
Yeah. So and and so many people ask me this question, Darab, and I keep saying this, that AI has become a common lingo maybe over the last 6 months. but AI in practice has been there for much longer.
Yeah.
Right. So suddenly now the whole world has warmed up to AI, and especially in in common parlance.
Yeah.
But otherwise, if you see, then I think AI has been integral to so many things, whether it's in camera or scene detection or gaming, also temperature, so many things. Right. AI was already playing its part. In fact, I believe that I also shared this with somebody else that in tech world, usually what happens is that the marketing jargons or
Hmm.
high tech jargons become common terminology, whether there is real substance or not, and that we get to know later. And one case in point can be metaverse, where a couple of years back people used to say, "Oh, metaverse will become very big," but finally we didn't find anything too great about it, right? Versus AI, where practice has happened first, and in fact, in common terminology, it is coming in much later.
Yeah. That's actually a
So,
very good way to put it.
yeah,
Uh,
so I think AI is has been, and I think will continue to be an integral part of whatever we are doing.
so what I got from that is that our marketing language won't anytime soon go towards AI.
Yeah, see, again, because consumers now are seeking AI in so far AI was working at the back end. Consumers were wanting good pictures or
Hmm.
say good gaming experience, and say we were giving that, right, because of the AI implementation which happened at the back end.
Hmm.
Now if consumer says I want it more upfront, where
Yeah.
and earlier he was not asking AI as such, now he's asking AI. So of course, as a marketer, it's our job to also tell him that yes, your phone is equipped with AI.
With AI. Yeah.
So if it means some change needs to be done in the communication, I think it should be done because that's what the
Okay.
consumer is seeking.
Yeah. All right. So iQOO's one question I want to ask about, it's similar to the first question I asked, but uh, strategy in terms of bringing innovation across price segments.
Yeah,
You've already given me something on those lines, but
right.
anything else, anything specific to iQOO, anything specific that you may be working on right now?
Yeah. So see on this, what we strongly believe is innovation can happen across price points.
Hmm.
And many a times there is a common misconception or a wrong belief that best innovation can happen in flagship. Yes, or flagships are the areas in which or flagship products can give you best of innovations. While that is true, but it does not limit us, at least at iQOO, to only flagships. Because and as recent as our Z9X, which is the first phone with 6000 mAh and 7.99 thickness, right? Also with IP64 and with so many other industry first features. Peak brightness, again the highest in the segment, 6000 mAh, slimmest in the segment, and IP64 again first in the segment. So all those features go on to prove that innovation can happen
Hmm.
across price points. And that's also one strong belief with which we build our products. Neo series also we've shown in the how in a 35K price point you can really give good innovations. iQOO 12 again being flagship, we were able to offer innovations. Last year with Z7 Pro, we were able to do some good stuff in that price segment, and that's what we intend to continue.
All right. Okay. Last question. What else is in store for iQOO this year? What can we expect to see from your brand?
Okay, so and see, there are two parts here. First is what we have been doing. We will continue to strengthen and continue to build on that because I think consumers are liking what we are doing. They are appreciating the effort that we are putting in building the brand. and the products we are launching, they are liking the products, the quality, the experience. So I think overall the brand is going in the right direction. And the second part is we will be strengthening our Z series portfolio even more. And I can tell this to you, we will be launching 3 more Z series products in the next few months. Right. And when 3 new products come, you can automatically mean they will be good and they will be challenging the respective price segments.
Nice. It's good to see to get the best of iQOO. You don't need to go for even the Neo series, let alone the flagship.
Yeah,
Uh,
absolutely. You will
and
see that.
exactly.
And I'm also so excited and just itching to show you guys the upcoming phones whenever we meet next for immersion. I
Yeah.
think I hope you like what we will bring.
No, honestly, I like the fact that the Z series now has more than 2 phones. Seen last year, it was just the Z7 and the okay, 3 phones. It was Z7, Z7S, and Z7 Pro. This year, we already have 2. And
Mm.
from what you're telling me, I believe there's more than one upcoming phones.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's exciting stuff. So that was an interesting conversation with Mr. Marya. He gave us very good insights into the whole smartphone market and what iQOO is coming up with in the recent future. To know more about iQOO devices and for all your tech content, do subscribe to our channel. This is Darab Mansoor Ali. You are watching Digit Mobile. I will see you guys in the next one. Thank you.